Hey, y'all, I just came back. All right, I know we just went live, so I came back to let y'all know, like I always do. When I find out, you find out, okay? I'm gonna share my screen with you. I'm just letting you know what the Houston police is saying. What Houston police is saying.
Many people hoped would not be true. Takeoff was shot and killed overnight. The police chief spoke candidly, acknowledging the number of shooting deaths in the hip hop industry, but he also emphasized the weight of Takeoff's death. Listen to this.
I got many calls from Houston and outside of Houston, and everyone spoke of what a great young man this is, how peaceful he is, what a great artist. And I'm calling up on everybody, our hip hop artists in Houston and around the nation. We got to police ourselves.
Many of you know Takeoff is from the Atlanta area and went to Berkmar High School in Gwinnett County. Just yesterday, he released a new song with his uncle Quavo. So news of his death has many in our community heartbroken.
Since Outkast in the 90s or early 2000s, there really hasn't been a super group like Migos. And so it's got a really powerful impact, not just on Atlanta, but on society as a whole.
Christian rapper Lecrae says there's no denying the Migos' impact.
Downstairs, outside.
That's 911 dispatcher audio from TMZ. Around 2:30 Tuesday morning, police say dozens of people had gathered at a Houston bowling alley for a private party. They received a call for shots fired.
An argument that broke out, and unfortunately, someone decided that that argument needed to be ended.
Franchise communities, and we want to stay connected to our communities. It's just unfortunate that people, take advantage of.
And that's just some of the stuff they were saying. Now, what I just found out is what people wanted to know. Where he was hit and how many times. Okay? I'm going to share another screen with y'all. Shout out to DJ Academics. Because he just dropped a video. Yeah, we gonna play it.
Now, in the most interesting and unfortunate turn of events, we all know that Takeoff died from a stray bullet when there was an argument that initially started from the aftermath of a dice game that turned into other things. We now know that Quavo tried to walk away, and when he tried to walk away, someone tried to swing on him. People then pulled out weapons, gunshots were traded, and yes, if you don't know, there were two other people hit, one woman and one man, but we're getting information from the coroner who has done their investigative, everything they need to do with the body. They're saying that Takeoff was shot in the head and in the torso, okay? Now, they're saying they're done with pretty much everything they need to do with the body. It's not that complicated. It's a simple shooting. And they're saying that his body could be picked up for funeral arrangements. However, they are basically saying that the primary cause of death is penetrating gun wounds to the head and torso into the arm. Now, if you guys don't know the narrative behind this, it's supposedly said that while gunshots were fired, Takeoff, who was jumping into a possible situation because Quavo just got punched on or somebody was swinging on him, he then was pretty much in no man's land, kind of in the middle of where gunshots were being fired. Somebody pulled out a gun. It was a situation because...
Let me read it to y'all, because this is what I wanted to show you. Migos rapper Takeoff was shot multiple times, resulting in his death. According to the report from the medical examiner's office, the Harris County medical examiner lists Takeoff's primary cause of death as penetration gunshot wounds of head and torso into arm. As we reported, Takeoff was gunned down after shots rang out after an argument outside of Houston bowling alley. But he got something else he said.
Quavo is just got punched on, or somebody was swinging on him. He then was pretty much in no man's land, kind of in the middle of where gunshots were being fired. Somebody pulled out a gun, and that errant bullet basically then struck him in the head. I hear he was killed upon impact, and before he could even fall to the ground, he also got shot again.
You hear that?
Man, this is
He died on impact, and before he even hit the ground, he was struck again. These are important things, and I know people talked about it overnight. People been up all night. Academic is one of them people that have been up all night. I just wanted y'all to hear.
this is such a sad story. We're all mourning the death of Takeoff. And the more I find out more information about this, y'all can watch my live stream I did on YouTube and Twitch.
I
The more you
watched
find
it.
out information about this, you realize this was some stupid stuff, man. And what I mean by that, it might have been friendly fire.
Two additional victims, a 24-year-old woman and a 23-year-old man, were taken to nearby hospital in private vehicles with non-life-threatening injuries, Houston PD Chief Troy Finner said. Now, two other people were shot, a 24-year-old woman and a 23-year-old man. Now, they were taken to the hospital in private vehicles. Okay. According to the Finner, at least 40 people were at the location when the shooting took place. The party reportedly ended at 1 a.m. And we personally know allegedly he was shot anywhere between 2:15, 2:30, before 3 o'clock. Or 3 o'clock, allegedly. Okay. The party reportedly ended at 1 a.m. but carried over until the incident occurred. Finner said there was an argument that led to the shooting. And we all heard the argument, all the recordings. Only reason I play Academic is because he had these parts. I couldn't find these parts.
It might have also just been a
Now, I
case
know I'm
of
a one-man
dudes
band
that just
around
don't know
here.
how to aim. Also, alcohol, drugs, ego, all of these things add into the situation. But unfortunately, they always say, and they've always said this saying, bullets ain't got no name. So that one bullet that wasn't aimed for Takeoff,
Listen.
unfortunately, ended up killing him, and he got hit multiple times.
And I want y'all to hear what people thinking. These are big names. Academics, he up there with a lot of the big media heads. So he's saying what people may be thinking. This is not the conversation. We're just having an update on where he was hit and how many times.
I send prayers for everybody involved. I guarantee you that this won't be any positive outcome. When I hear the whole narrative from the night, these were couple groups of men that were supposed to all be on the same page that went out. They had, of course, women around, and of course, liquor and drugs. And of course, out of male ego and competition, people were going back.
Well, we're going to stop blaming liquor and drugs too. You know what I'm saying? Even though we personally know they can do the most. But listening to that audio, it seemed like it ain't had nothing to do with liquor and drugs. You know what I mean? Now, egos, always.
Back and forth, just tit for tat in terms of talking ish. And that later ended up with people being outside after the venue was closed. People started getting a little bit more spicy. People started talking about basketball, then fighting. And then ultimately, unfortunately, guns got pulled. And everybody who was intended for the shooting didn't get hit. It was only the people who were the bystanders.
Always.
We've heard that so much times before. I also want to just put out this narrative, and I want to really make this be known. This ain't got nothing to do with rap music, because that dice game, that
That ain't
event
what.
there is all street stuff. Okay? So I hate when rappers say, "Oh, this is proof that rap is the most dangerous profession." Street stuff going on. Takeoff and Quavo could have went and get of security there as rappers and people. But what is it? As rappers and people have embraced street cultures, black culture, people also assume that you're gonna be a famous rapper.
Let's say something while we listening. Your friends and your hood niggas and your posse is not your security. That's the biggest mistake that's been made every time. Your posse is not your security. Okay?
And go anywhere and just be in a dice game and have arguments, music or rap. This got to do with the personnel there who don't like argument. And this is the facts about our culture. Deal with resolving people that I was with. Oh, let me just remove one person from the situation that we don't get to the guns. And by the way, I know that Takeoff, Quavo was trying to walk away, but when you have the homies, this is what happens when you put a bunch of hood niggas in. Some getting street money, some getting. This is what happens, and unfortunately.
All right. Only because AK had that them pieces of the article saying he got shot twice in the head and twice in the torso. And we know from which area in the goddamn torso. So that's just an update. And I'm dropping these videos for references. So don't get it twisted. Watch the ones you want to watch, like the ones you want to like. I do what I do, why I do it. But yeah, this ain't the time right now, so I ain't gonna give it all to y'all. So y'all already know. Everybody done drop the video. All the big heads done drop videos on the shit. When I come and say what I gotta say, it's just my thoughts all the way. Okay? I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I was one of the people up and watched AK Twitch. Academics Twitch. It was 50,000 motherfuckers in there. He was circling bitches, names and all type of shit. And motherfuckers was finding their names, okay? So, if you want to go and take a look at that, y'all go and look over there, okay? Shout out to you. This is the Celeb Compound. Start with the rhyme. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss when I go live. I'll see you soon, because we will get into this shit. Got a surprise for y'all. Get into it. See you soon.